everyone. Welcome back to our Keep Indiana Learning live stream. I'm Lena Darnay, and I am so excited to welcome Jessica Zepik, a Keep Indiana Learning digital learning coach and the media specialist in South Madison schools. I'm so excited to have you here, Jessica. Thanks for coming and having some fun with us today.
Hi, thanks for having me. So we are going to get started talking about ProFUNssional Development. And again, as Lena said, I'm Jessica Zepik, one of the media and e-learning specialists at South Madison Community Schools. That's in Pendleton. If you want to find me on Twitter, my handle's there. And if you would like to connect after this presentation, there's my email address. So to get started, what I'm going to do is give you a behind the scenes look at a district PD challenge that we are hosting here at South Madison. I'm fortunate enough to work with 3 other extremely talented eCoaches within the district. So all of what I'm going to share with you is certainly not just the work of one person, but a collective effort from all of us. And if you're like us in your district, we have seen some challenges in offering PD to teachers. We know it's valuable. We know it's important. However, with the lack of subs and lack of time, we just aren't able to host some of those live workshops and cohorts that we've done in past years. So we had to get a little creative with how we offered PD this year. So hopefully you'll get some ideas that maybe you can implement in your own school or district from what we're doing. So to start off, we introduced the challenge to all certified staff members within South Madison at our district in-service, which was held the day before Thanksgiving break. So all certified staff members met together in one location, which was very convenient for us because then we were able to give everyone the same introduction. We actually created this little intro video that we showed at the beginning of the professional development day. So I'll do the same as I did with them and show you the intro video to kick it off. So we showed them that video just to give them a little taste, a little introduction to our district challenge. And then at the end of that professional development day, they were sent an email, just like the intro said, and we included this Canva flyer, which if you have been watching the live stream, you heard Joe Cox talk previously about Canva and how wonderful it is. So this is a great example of how we're using it here in our district. We made this flyer. Basically, it talks about the prizes, which are definitely incentives for participants to just start working on the challenge. We got the money for the prizes through district grants and so forth. So we do have 2 grand prize winners who will get to go to New Orleans and attend ISTE Live this summer. And then we have some individual prizes, building prizes, and consolation prizes. So we hook them in with talking about the prizes, and then it goes through a little Q&A. So it gives participants all the information that they'll need to know to participate, telling them the purpose, what's in the challenge, their individual goals, and so forth. Talks about the prize drawings and the points, and then also gives a little visual for how to get started. Basically, they get to choose their learning path, which is really nice. When we're talking about professional development, the limitations of in-person is that we can't do in-person workshops, but the advantage is this way, the teachers really get to decide what they want to learn and what they want to improve upon. So that gives a little overview. I'm going to go back to the slideshow here and show you how we have it set up. So this is all run through Google Classroom, which is a great way to model this for our participants. Not everyone uses Google Classroom in our district, so by them being students in the Google Classroom, they get to experience what that's like, see a good representation of how assignments are set up and so forth as a student, which is usually very helpful. So as you can see in our Google Classroom, we have, first of all, the overview and prizes. So at any time they can go into that, find that flyer again. So if they have questions, they can go back and look at that information. And then we've divided it into topics. And the topics are assignments that have a certain point value. So if they complete a task within that topic, that's how many points they can receive that goes toward this district challenge. And notice that we can even, as teachers in Google Classroom, all of us coaches in the district, we are able to create drafts so that we're not stepping on each other's toes as far as entering the same professional development. And we're able to really organize this because we do have a plethora of PD options. And so it's a great way to organize and for our participants to be able to browse through and see what professional development best fits their needs. And then if you're familiar with Google Classroom, you know that as the teacher, you just grade the assignment, you can add a comment and return it. So the amount of points that the task is worth would be represented here. And then we, as coaches, grade them or give them the points according to whether they completed the task. So in looking for PD opportunities, again, we wanted to offer a plethora of options. And to make that feasible for all of us, we were, already looking for what's already out there that is already made high quality professional development. So these are just a few examples of PD that we have to offer. We encourage teachers to participate in the Ditch That Textbook Digital Summit, find material on demand, live professional development with Keep Indiana Learning and the Learning Lab. There's just so many high quality resources within these different platforms. And we aren't really seeing teachers, as much as we would like, really get into those platforms and find professional development on their own. So with attaching a point value to this district challenge, now, once they get into it, then they love it and they see what all it has to offer, and they're more likely to keep utilizing those resources. We as coaches like these opportunities because they are free, it's self-paced, and they generate certificates. One component of this challenge is we need to make sure that we have an accountability piece to ensure that participants are, participating. So the certificates are nice because they have something to turn in to prove that they've completed it in order to earn their points. Some other PD opportunities, we've included tech tools. We know that there are some great tech tools out there, so we compiled a list of our favorites, ones that we feel like really enhance instruction and learning. One example is Adobe Spark, so we're encouraging teachers to use that. We give a little information about what the tech tool can do, give some directions, make sure that the teachers note to attach their evidence, the evidence we ask for. They could just write a reflection, show an example of student work, or actually have one of the coaches come in and observe or co-teach the lesson. Some tech tools have their own built-in PD, which is really nice. And Edpuzzle is an example of that. They have a badging system. So again, us coaches don't really have to develop or prepare anything. We can just lead them toward the Edpuzzle badge. So they are going to learn more about Edpuzzle than what we all can provide, and it's on their own time at their own pace. So it really differentiates the professional development for our teachers. And then we were looking at our district adopted resources, and Vocabulary A to Z is a great example of that. We have this adopted resource, but it's optional for teachers to use. And so to encourage more use of that, we've included it in the challenge. And again, just trying to get teachers into it. Once they do, they love it. But this is a little nudge to try to check out some of those resources that are available. Some resources, such as Writable and MobyMax, have some great training videos, but they didn't really have an accountability piece. So us coaches, we put those training videos into Edpuzzle ourselves to not only have that accountability piece, but also to have teachers experience Edpuzzle as a student in hopes that that's going to spark some ideas of, oh, this is a great resource. How can I use it with my students? And then Discovery Ed is another example. So if you are thinking about doing a challenge such as this, I would definitely look at your district resources to see what is already available. because Discovery Ed is a great example. They have some interactive courses built in, so teachers can work through those at their own pace, and they do generate completion certificates. So that accountability piece is also already embedded. And because we know that we cannot possibly account for all of the technology tools and all of the PD opportunities out there, there's just no possible way to compile all of those. We do offer a choice. So if a participant comes across a workshop or something that they want to do or a tool that they want to try, they can just work with their eCoach to determine how many points that might be. We tried to equate about an hour's worth of work would be 10 points. So that's kind of what we've based our point value on. We've also included the Indiana Wesleyan micro-credentials that are offered through the GEAR Grant Scholarship to encourage teachers to go through that program, the Google certifications, and we still do have in-person workshops. And one example of those is the 5-star PBL workshop that we have coming up. Because we can't get subs and have those during the day, then they are after school. And it's a hard sell to have teachers spend 2 hours outside of their school day attending a workshop. So by putting it into the challenge, it gives, again, a little extra nudge, a little extra incentive to participate in that. And we've included the coaching cycle. And as a coach, I think we all understand how important and how beneficial a coaching cycle can be. And when we were able to do cohorts with teachers, that was sort of organically embedded into the cohort. We implemented the coaching cycle, but to just say, hey, I'm available to do a coaching cycle if anyone wants to, I'll be honest, I don't really have people knocking down my door to do that. But it's a very beneficial PD opportunity. So now that we've embedded it into the challenge, again, it gives those teachers a little extra incentive, and it just reminds them of, hey, this opportunity is available. So I've already done more coaching cycles just in the couple weeks that we've been doing this challenge than I have all of my years of being a coach, of just having people, volunteer to say, hey, I'd like for you to do this with me. So we have the criteria listed. And again, that really personalizes and differentiates the learning for our teachers. What's nice about the way we have this organized and set up is that we want to stretch it out over the entire school year. So it goes all the way from Thanksgiving to April. And we know that there will be plenty of PD opportunities coming up. So this allows us to add more as they come up. So for example, we're going to add some Twitter chats when the summer of e-learning comes up. Of course, we'll be offering incentives for teachers to sign up for summer of e-learning or submit proposals to present. So all of those incentives will be there. We are fortunate enough to work with 3 other coaches in our district. So they are teachers within our Google Classroom, and they can add their own professional development elements. So for example, our EL coach has some EL workshops coming up. So the whole layout and organization of it lends itself well to adding additional PD opportunities. And so that is all the easy part as far as putting the professional development. We had to come up with a system for how are we going to track these points. And again, I'm fortunate enough to work with some very talented eCoaches. Matt Vosberg is one of them, and he has developed this spreadsheet. He is a spreadsheet guru, and he's come up with formulas and tabs and all of this to sort of organize our points. So what he does is he downloads the points earned from Google Classroom for each participant, and then he uploads them into a spreadsheet. And each school within our district has their own tab here at the bottom. So you can see the one for my school. I've blocked out the teachers' names, but basically I can look at each certified staff member's name and see how many points they've earned and then how many chips that equates to. So I'll get to the chips in a minute, but basically the more points they earn, the more chips they get to enter into our prize drawings. So this spreadsheet tells me how many chips to give everyone. And then when it's time for our first drawing, I can see how many chips should be in the drawing. It just gives a really organized snapshot of how the challenge is going. So that is really nice. Every staff member in the district is assigned a chip number. So that's there as well. And then we keep track of our individual top people and the building, because there are two different prizes there. We give prizes for individuals who earn the most points, and then the total building. So we take the number of certified staff participating divided by the total number of eligible certified staff, and that determines the building who's earning the most points. So very thankful for Matt in setting that all up for us. That keeps us organized and on track. Some other fun elements that we have included into the challenge is anyone who participates for the first time gets a free Jeans Day coupon. I don't know about your district, but ours is all about free jeans. So that's exciting that they can use anytime before the end of the school year. And then they get a badge outside of their door. And that really has encouraged participation, because if people see that their neighbors are participating, then they start thinking about, well, how can I participate? So those are two fun elements that we've added. And then this is a really fun element that I, again, have to give Matt Vosberg credit for. He has come up with this amazing way to show the leaderboards for our individual and our building leaders. This is just a screenshot of the individual because I didn't want to show names from our district. But basically, we send this out in a weekly email to show the leaderboard, and it's in our Google Classroom, which I'll show you in a minute. But we show, so the top 10 point earners from the district are here, and then we give a little shout out to someone. So it's not always just the person who has the most points, but maybe we just highlight someone who tried something new or who attended a workshop and we want to tell about it. So it's just a way for us to keep the challenge exciting. So I'm going to go live now to our Google Classroom to show you what that looks like for our building standings, because he has done a really nice job making these. And those certainly get everyone's attention. They like to see those every week. And again, they can come back to them inside of the Google Classroom. So I talked about those chips. For every 20 points that a participant earns, they get a chip, and it's a poker chip. We put their number on it. And then this is the example at my school. The boxes are right outside of their mailboxes. So I put their jean certificates and their chips in their mailboxes every week, and then they can put them in the designated box of what drawing they want their chips to go into. And then I've included the Canva posters with all of the information on the challenge. Our prizes, we really tried to support our local businesses. So time savers are like frozen meals that are already prepared. You just have to heat up, that our high school home ec department makes and sells. Arabian Stable is another high school ran spirit wear company. The procurement vouchers are ways for teachers to get classroom supplies. And we also offer premium subscriptions to like Pear Deck. And then we have a whole slew of consolation prizes that they can choose from by filling out a Google form if they win those, to say what classroom supply they want. And this is all recorded via Google Meet, and then we'll put the recording inside of Google Classroom and send it with that weekly update. So what's really nice about this challenge is not only is it fun and engaging, but we're secretly modeling tech tools as we're doing it. So the participants are seeing us use platforms like Google Classroom, Edpuzzle, Padlet, are different ways of making sure that teachers are accountable for their learning. We have them act as students to turn things in, so they can see a variety of different platforms. We use Loom, Canva, the Google Suite, and it's just a really great way to model that without actually having a training. We're just showing like this is what these tools could do. So thank you so much for joining. Again, I had my email address there. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.
Thank you so much, Jessica. That is fascinating. And I think some of the comments were really, some of the people watching were really impressed with the prize. Heck,
Mhm.
I think I might want to start coming over and doing PD just so I can go to ISD in New Orleans. That sounds amazing.
Yes, we're very excited. I forgot to mention the top point earner will automatically get a seat, and then we'll have a drawing for the top 5% of point earners. That way it's not discouraging. If you see someone's just, really taking the lead, they still have a chance because they'll go into a drawing for it.
Amazing. What a great idea. I love the innovative approach to professional development, really giving people options to explore their professional curiosity in so many ways. Thank you for sharing that with us. Keep with us here at Keep Indiana Learning. Stick around. We've got more fun coming up. And reach out to Jessica if you have any questions or would like to do something like that similar in your school district. Thanks, Jessica. We'll see you in our next live stream.
Thank you.